to evil that threatens eternal night. Heroes from across worlds stand and unite. No other foe or force can match their might. The once great people of this world now hide in fear. All chaos shaken by the power of sword and spear. The black-clad armies of the Dark One now draw near. But in the distance, the sergeant and the bear appear. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. Wings spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. Wings spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Legions of Romans stand and let their arrows fly. The roaring of dragons and machines fills the sky. Secret agents and the generals they defy. Swarms of orcs and samurai raise their banners high. In the wake of death, only one man stands alone. The sergeant raises his sword, high silver shone. He condemns the chaos the warlock is has sown. He stands longing for the day he may return home. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. Wings spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Until the war for the world springs is won, they will fight until there are none. But a hero will stand alone as one, and the bloodshed is finally done. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. Wings spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Great heroes are past the law, no power has seen before. Wings spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation, 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 to end the age of annihilation.
Welcome to TOV Live. It is Valhalla time. It is time, once again, we delve into the breach of lore that Renegade is producing for the free monthly scenario of, the month. Monthly scenario 17, Dawn of a New Alliance. Let's get to reading that in a second. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Wednesday to all of you. I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, the guy who kind of does stop motion animation of Heroscape miniatures. Been doing it past 10 plus years and having fun with it. Create a series called Tales of Valhalla, The Aftermath Chronicles, which is a 3-season series. If you're into story, and if you're not, there's lots of fun action animated scenes as well that I'm starting to do individual, some long, some mini videos, depending on how long the battle is. I just uploaded one earlier today on YouTube Shorts, and in a matter of just a few hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, it got to over 1,000 views, and it was just like a 10-second clip of one of the one of my favorite moments in the series where I think it's the most amount of wound tokens that I used when blowing something up in the series, which was season 2, and Lieutenant Dan's like basically throwing a grenade on a bunch of orcs on the ground, and then there's the wound markers scatter everywhere, and he says "Explodiarmus," and then at the end of like all the gut sounds going, and he says, "Ah, that's nasty." And so that 10 seconds I just posted on YouTube Shorts, and it's getting a little bit of attention, so that's cool. That's cool. I know before we get into reading the scenario, just to follow up, this will be the last stream that I'll be doing on this channel until next month. I'm gonna be out of office in a sense for that time. I guess take it as a sabbatical. As much as I want to keep on going and streaming, apparently I'm being led to rest a little bit and possibly travel and do that stuff. So out of it, but we're still going to read through this tonight, get the scenario done, and hopefully by the end of the week I'll have like the separate videos for these up as well, and then I'll try to upload maybe a couple more shorts too before I am totally out of any means to upload anything by the end of the week. But yeah, after tonight, it's basically going to be a lot of radio silence until into next month. Just so you all know. And then another thing I want to let you know, I'm working on, and this is actually something from working on season 3. Behind the scenes, I've uploaded and made a lot of build videos, but this is one of my build videos that I have not made yet. This was obviously a build for the scene. This is one of the biggest builds that I did throughout the entire series of Tales of Valhalla, seasons 1, 2, and 3. And when I mean big, I don't mean in as much. I don't mean to say as much as in the size, as in just at this period of time. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. At this time, I used nearly every bit of tiles that I had on me at the time, and so I'm currently editing and recreating the moment. So I'm editing through this, and eventually, hopefully, sometime this year, I'll get this made, and it'll be a fun video. I'll make a shorts of it too, but I wanted to tape this process of building this because I had no previous instructions on it, no virtual escape instructions. I just did it all from my head, and I don't know if anybody recognizes that scene, but this is a desert scene, and they cross this over to this canyon, and then I'll show like the end result of it as well. But like I said, something I'm working on. But tonight, of course, we are going to be reading the scenario for this month, and I think it's creating a little bit of controversy, at least 1 or 2 comments that I've seen online. So, and I've browsed through it, so we will get to reading this in a moment. And of course, let me get this. Apparently there's a couple pages worth of stuff here that we got to read through. And
night day.
Okay, good night. Love you. Love you. Go to sleep. You should be asleep already.
Yeah.
Night, night, night. Love you.
Night, night.
Love you.
And good night, alligator.
Okay. Good night. Love you. That was my son telling me goodnight. Okay, so let us get into reading the lore part of this right away, and I'm going to get this thing up here real quick. Try to make it kind of a short night too, reading through this, say what I gotta say, and then be done, hopefully within the hour. But let me just get this up, get this banner up, and say, okay, so. And just for the video segment that I'll edit for this later, and of course, hello War Pigment there in the chat as well. But for for editing later. Okay, we're going to enter into the free monthly scenario 17, Dawn of New Alliance. Let us tackle the lore part first. So let's go. From the pen of Raylan, ambassador of Jandar, 14th of Ranos, Sonlen. My friend, be swift on your mission as you seek to cure Uller's madness. The pirates have mobilized again. Leviatak and I have been assisting Lord Jandar's defenders across the coast of Nostraland and Thalank, repelling small-scale raids from the Crimson Fleet. These attacks have no clear pattern, so Jandar's recent defensive focus has proven valuable for protecting our shores from these assaults. I have spoken with Jandar a few times since my homecoming. Our first reunion had no words, just a moment of silence before he embraced me, tearfully breaking his usual stoicism after all these years. He still has not approved of my actions, but his forgiveness has been unexpected and unconditional. The forgiveness of his army, though, has been tougher to earn. Some, such as our dear friend Sergeant Alexander, respected the measures I took and deemed them necessary to stop Utgar. But many others remember friends lost to Utgar's raids these last few years, raids which I had to join unflinchingly. The presence of Leviatak has been similarly conflicting for many in the army. Her fierceness and stubborn pride are admirable on the battlefield, but in this moment of diplomacy, I have had my fair share of moments interceding as ambassador to ease tensions between Jandar's sentinels and her own warriors. I hope that our united presence in repelling these pirate raids will bring some degree of unity to our people. The scars of Utgar's tyranny still linger, and many of those under Leviatak's command still embrace the same brutality and malice that their deposed lord inflicted upon this land for decades. While we assess the armies under Leviatak's command, though, it is my goal to shape those who serve under the banners of Sapphire and Ruby into a new alliance for the unity of all Valhalla. If we can set aside these deeply held grudges, then we may just have a chance at securing lasting peace for our home. But these are thoughts for a future that must withstand the onslaught of the Crimson Fleet. Stay vigilant and stay strong. While I am fighting for the future, I still smell blood in the winds at present. Something is happening, and my instincts are telling me the pirates are reaching their end game. We must withstand whatever annihilation they will bring. Your friend, Raylan. All right, and then this one. Vision of the Void Wings Command. Fia and Killian read over the assignment together, reviewing the plans one last time. I don't like it, Killian mutters. The king picks us for his big mission. But before we do that, we have to venture back into that god-forsaken tundra to mess with the land of the Bluebeards again. How many more raids does he need from us? We don't even get to keep anything we would otherwise plunder. Fia gestures curtly, signaling for Killian to stop his tirade for the third time since they set off for the northern shores. A few moments of peaceful silence pass, agonizing Killian. Changing topics, he addresses their recent warning. Do you think the big boss really did it? Tamed a kraken? His voice ripples with anticipation. Fia's shoulders shake with an inaudible chuckle, a rare levity seen only by her quartermaster. Both of them sit there, remembering tales from home about legendary sea monsters and mighty leviathans. I'm almost going to miss the excitement. This land may be worse than a Galveston inn in the summer, but the entertainment has at least helped distract me from the misery of this prison sentence. Fia responds, Rum, inferior, Valhalla. You got a point there, Captain. You got a point there. Okay. So I was trying very hard not to pause or, make expressions or anything, but we'll read through this again now, and I'll give my comments on this of what's being written so far, as we know in the story. So what we've seen from the lore book, we kind of already knew something was going to happen on Valhalla's borders, that obviously Raylan was going to return the Yandar, but this alliance, my initial thoughts, because I had kind of skimmed through this. I hadn't read through the whole thing when I downloaded this thing the other day. And when I skimmed through it, there wasn't anything that I thought was terrible, but now that I read it all the way through, there are some things that I kind of don't like. Unfortunately. And again, Renegade can do whatever they want to do when it comes to crafting the story. That's fine. I mean, I have my own opinion as a storyteller, and, that's how it goes. Sometimes you're not going to agree on everything. But let me just start reading through this again, and let's break things down. Okay, Sonlen. So Raylan's writing this letter to Sonlen, addressing it to him. My friend, be swift on your mission as you seek to cure Uller's madness. The pirates have mobilized again. Okay, so in that first sentence, it sets up where we're at. Yes, Sonlen himself, like we had, what was it, the last one, the comfrey plant, where you have that last ingredient being taken, so there's a little bit of that going on. And now we have what's going on with Raylan and Jandar's borders. Now it's like, if you remember in the previous some of the previous lore, Jandar or Yandar had brought everybody into his territory. There was no more like them going outside. There was plenty of fighting on the outside, and he said, okay, everybody with back in the borders, and let's just contain ourselves here and bide our time. Now we kind of know, because apparently on the shores there were pirates attacking along there, so that was the cause of the withdrawal from fighting anybody else, because the shores of the borders were being invaded by these pirates, and so Jandar needed to focus his attention on them. So there is an answer to that question from before. Why did Jandar withdraw his forces back into Utengard? Nastraland. Nastraland there is where Jandar. So see, there's a lot of shores here. Nastraland, besides this little thin area here, I mean, there's plenty of body water areas that pirates could invade. So it kind of makes sense that he's like, okay, everybody return to Nastraland. We need to defend it because there's pirates raiding all over the place. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Okay, anyway, Leviatak and I... Hello, Dan Antonio. Welcome. Leviatak and I... oh no. So Leviatak didn't remain in Ukar territory. And again, this is where the Ukar territory is, in Utengard. So not only did Raylan return to Nostraland, apparently Leviatak followed. Oh dear. Leviatak and I have been assisting Lord Jandar's defenders across the coast of Nastraland and Thalank. Okay, and Thalank as well. Okay, so Nastraland and Thalank. There you go. So Nastraland and Thalank is above here. You can't really see it, but it's above there. This map is a little zoomed in, so you can't see it, but Thalank is above here. I mean, you've seen it if you watch Tales of Valhalla. You've seen where those areas are. So that's why, again, Jandar withdrew across the coast of Nastraland and Thalank. I guess she was thinking the enemy of my enemy is my friend with this type of scenario, although now they're allied, so this is just darn confusing. Maybe just because I'm so used to the old lore that Ukar is unredeemable, and obviously he was, but now, again, Levy attack. So again, I know we had like, and the map was awesome, by the way, but we had Levy attack, again, apparently face off against any contender in the arena, in Utgar's realm, and apparently she came out on top, and now everybody just listens to her. No. I don't know. Okay, that's just kind of frustrating. Leviatak and I have been assisting Lord Jander's defenders across the coast of Nastrel. They like repelling small-scale raids from the Crimson Fleet. Okay, so Crimson Fleet pirates all around those borders. And again, almost all that territory, there's shores everywhere. These attacks have no clear pattern, so Jandar's recent defensive focus has proven valuable for protecting our shores from these assaults. Yeah, again, he brought everybody back to his realm so they could keep up the defense. I've spoken with Jandar a few times since my homecoming, so this paragraph talks about her homecoming. So let's focus on that. Our first reunion had no words, just a moment of silence before he embraced me, tearfully breaking his usual stoicism after all these years. He still has not approved of my actions, so she, Raylan, did this whole double agent thing without telling anybody. She just did it herself. You know, she should have at least informed Jandar. You know, because what if she decided to remain bad? And no, I don't really consider it a redemption arc for her. The ends justify the means, Raylan? I don't know. Okay, let me just read through this more. He still has not approved of my actions, but his forgiveness has been unexpected and unconditional. Okay, which you kind of expect from Yandar, I guess. The forgiveness of his army, though, has been tougher to earn. Well, yeah. Look, there are better ways to overthrow Utgar than infiltrate. And if you're going to infiltrate, then inform somebody. If you join Utgar's ranks, like, and tell you, oh, I'm just going to do this by myself, I'm sorry, that's not how warfare kind of works. You just don't defect, or say you're going to defect from somebody and then really defect from it and play this role as a defector, and then you join another side without informing anybody. That's a great way to get yourself killed. It's not smart in any realistic situation. And I know this is fantasy. This is, you know, whatever. But yeah. Some, such as our dear friend Sergeant Alexander, respected the measures I took and deemed them necessary to stop Utgar. Really, why? Deemed them necessary to stop Utgar. To act like a bad person without even informing anybody. No, it's a good way to get yourself killed. And I refer this back to, like, just say World War II, because I'm interested, like, sometimes in the spy networks and people who are spies and were double agents and stuff, double agents, triple agents, during World War II, and there were still people within the ranks that knew they were double agents, that they had to report to, and that maintained the infrastructure of whatever military system you were involved in. Sometimes they were on their own. Sometimes they had no one to report to, but you still had higher ups that knew they were in there. Maybe not everybody. It doesn't have to be everybody. Sometimes it might only be one person that's in charge of them. That's their superior officer. But someone knows. You just don't go in, not guns blazing, but go in yourself and just be like, oh, people will understand later what I did, or it doesn't matter. That's insubordinate. And maybe I'm being too serious on this, and I should take a lighter approach on it. But I'm really critical of Raylan's character here. But many others remember friends lost to Ugar's raids these last few years. Now, I'm kind of confused, and maybe it's just a mix-up. Because from what I remember, I thought Raylan had defected, and if I remember the timelines correctly, that Raylan was only on Ugar's ranks for just a number, like only like less than a year. So now why is this saying the last few years? That confuses me, just as a TypeScript type thing. Raids which I had to join unflinchingly. Okay, I get it. You were a double agent and you had to carry out these things, these acts. But the problem is, you are the only one who knew you're a double agent. And yes, I understand your need to having to fool everybody to apparently get to Ugar's. Again, I still question the logic of having to go through all that. But there had to be some type of plan. There had to be someone, at the very least, Jandar, to know that what your whole deal was. And again, if I were in Jandar's position, just like anybody would be in any type of like military type position, as a spy, or as an agent who's a spy who's trying to infiltrate someone. And I know I'm doing this by human standards, but this is what I have to base stuff on. You report to somebody, and it doesn't matter if it's only at the start of your mission to where you're infiltrating somebody. You're still reporting to somebody. You still have to respect the chain of some type of command, even if you are a spy. And if you're just doing it yourself and be like, okay, everybody, after the war's over, okay, I did all this bad stuff, but you know what? I decided that I was a spy, and I went in and did it. They execute. It doesn't matter what good you did or what bad you did. They execute you, because it's like, well, you weren't under anybody's orders to do this, and you're expecting us to forgive you. And I know I'm being highly critical here, but it's I don't like the writing. I'm not going to say it's terrible writing. I just don't like the writing. It's not good. I don't like it. For Raylan's intentions. Because what is the infrastructure? What is the military infrastructure then of Jandar? And maybe I'm just being too adult about it, and I should just, be like, it's a fantasy story, Ryan. But if you're looking, and I already know this, if you're looking to make Heroscape as intricate and as popular as Warhammer 40k, you need to know these things, and you need to make sure within your lore that you have these specifics of what the military of every faction is. There needs to be backstory on top of backstory and intricate detail on top of intricate detail, to know what everything's about in the world that you're creating or trying to create. That's what Warhammer 40k is. And if you're going to get anywhere close to the level of Warhammer 40k in this universe, you need to know these things. So is Jandar's army? I know. My goodness, I'm so heated tonight about this. I need to. Okay, Ryan, calm down. But this is serious stuff. This is establishing a lore, a story, an intricate storyline within this. You can't be half cupped about it. I don't want to swear through this. It's just, if Jandar was any type of military leader, he would at the very least give her no position of leadership, let alone ambassador, at all. Okay, forgive her, but you still need to be punished, because this is not the way you go things. If you have any type of stable military infrastructure within your realm, that's how it would go. And so it's one of two things. Either Jandar does have a strong military infrastructure, and he's just deciding not to do anything, or his infrastructure of military within his realm is terrible, and people can just do whatever they want. Again, maybe I'm just being too much of a jerk about it, but that's a huge hole to me in the story. I'm not going to rant too much more about it. I'm going to continue reading. The presence of Leviatak has been similarly, I don't know what, similarly, okay, there you go, similarly conflicting for many in the army. No kidding. And this is another thing as well. I mean, I've just been spending the last, 10-15 minutes just ranting about just Raylan's decisions to go in and how that's being handled. We haven't even got to the alliance part yet. So let's do that. The presence of the Leviatak has been similarly conflicting for many in the army. Her fierceness and stubborn pride are admirable on the battlefield, but in this moment of diplomacy, I've had my fair share of moments interceding as ambassador to ease tensions between Jandar's sentinels and her own warriors. You know what? Okay, I have some issues with this, and probably not for the reasons that some people have issues for, but let me just continue reading the rest of this paragraph, then we'll get into it. I hope that our united presence in repelling these pirate raids will bring some degree of unity to our people. The scars of Ukar's tyranny still linger, and many of those under Leviatak's command still embrace the same brutality and malice that their deposed lord inflicted upon this land for decades. Then why are you bringing them over? While we assess the armies under Leviatak's command, though, it is my goal to shape those who serve under the banners of Sapphire and Ruby. What are we talking about? I'm sorry. Ukar's, yeah, it's red. His banner is red, but it was never Ruby. Ruby is a different. This is the first time I've ever heard of stones representing the Bandar of Valkyrie factions. And I don't know if that was just something to write in there. But again, if you're treating this story, if you're trying to establish this lore to a level, to a higher level than what it was originally intended, you just don't throw these words in needlessly. Banners of Sapphire Ruby into a new alliance for the unity of all Valhalla. If we can set aside these deeply held grudges, then we may just have a chance at securing lasting peace for our home. Look, okay, let's break this down. I understand Raylan's and Jandar's intentions. You want to have peace. Of course you do. You want to have peace. Sometimes, though, peace don't come trying to make friends or appeasement. And I find it interesting. I think, does it say anything? Okay, no, I think it says something about, wait, let's say something about, I know we heard something about Ukar. Let's see here. President of Attack, hope their United Presence. Again, an enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing that they're doing in this. I don't know why Jandar thinks he needs the help, though, unless it's an overwhelming amount of pirates, which is probably the case. Malice that their deposed lord is. Okay, no, that's what I was. Okay, the Leviatak's command still embrace the same brutality and malice that their deposed lord, not killed lord, deposed lord. Deposed is a far cry from someone being dead. Just saying. Just saying. There's still no proof that Utgar's dead. Still no proof. Could be mostly dead, but that doesn't mean there's proof that he's all dead here. It's just deposed. That's it. Not slain, not killed off, none of that. Deposed. Okay, now let's approach this alliance. These thoughts on alliance. Let's approach this. It is not a good time for Leviattack, especially for Leviattack to bring warriors that are with her that could cause issues of division, and Raylan's got to step in and be like, oh no, let's all be friends here. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. Maybe she just brought, a bunch of of the minions, which is probably the best mood, but pick minions that aren't going to be as fierce and brutal. That's going to cause conflict. Look, if you're entering a peace agreement, the best thing to do is not bring people in the same room that's more likely to fight with each other. I don't care how well they fight. I don't care how good defense, or keep them separate. There's plenty of Jandar's land available. Put Jandar's forces in one area, and then put Leviattack's forces in another area, and none the two shall meet. You could do that too. Again, this is not very smart planning. Unless, again, I'm probably reading into it too much, but it's not smart planning. And okay, I know, and this is probably a setup for when all of them end up fighting the Thorman near the end. I know that's what this setup is for. So that's what they're going for the end of this. The setup to where the void and the well springs go and kaplooey. I know that's what the setup is for. Okay. So I get it. It's like, okay, Ryan, well, we're leading to this. Okay, I get it. But it comes down to the point to where Leviattack is away from her territory. And I don't care how many people that she's had to fight to establish that, okay, I'm the big kahuna here, in Utgar's territory and House Utgar, and no one else is going to contend with me. I don't care how many she fought. She didn't fight enough. She didn't defeat enough. She might establish herself as a head kahuna, but there is so many of those in Utgar's faction that I know as a certainty is not going to follow Leviattack. I know that. Not all of them are going to just follow her just because, she's got a huge axe and she defeated Utgar. It's like, there's probably so many followers of Utgar that wanted to take care of Utgar themselves, and were waiting for just the opportunity for that to happen, but Leviattack beat them to it. It's a bad move. I mean, maybe if Leviattack would have just sent some of her people, but she needs to stay at home for a while to establish a more secure foundation, so that she's in control better. It's like, okay, I just defeated Utgar. I was able to defeat whoever I need defeated to have this house seat, and now I leave my territory. That's a great way for someone else to take over. And by the time she gets back to her territory, someone else will be like, oh, hi, here. Okay, I'm taking over. You go. We're going to defend you, because as many people as she's defeated in that arena, she can't take out everybody. So I hope she left a good administrator behind, because I don't think at this point she should trust anybody. There's just too much deceit in House Utgar. Sorry, that's who Utgar brought in to fight on his side. Is the evil, smelliest lot from all over time and space. To think that she can handle that and then leave, just taking some of her force with her, because I guarantee you she didn't empty her land to go to Jandar's territory. That's invasion. So there's so much to question about this, and some of you might be thinking, I never thought of that before, because I know there are some things different, like and I'm not going to try and re-say what I've seen online, but some people just didn't like the alliance because just because they don't think Uthgar and Jandor should be allied, period. And while I might have misgivings on that, depending on the story setup, and as much as I may or might not like Leviatek and Raylan's friendship, that's how that story's going. I mean, it's from a story perspective, it's just how Renegade's doing it. I'm trying to dive deeper into this though, on does this make sense with everything else that's going on? And it could. I mean, again, we're only getting a portion of the story. There could be things that I'm missing completely, and if I am, please write down below in the description on what your thoughts on this. I really like to hear it. But yeah, it's for me, it just seems like there are a lot of holes in this plot, in this story. Again, I understand setting it up for the big final confrontation, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But these are thoughts for a future that must withstand the onslaught of the Crimson Fleet. And see, there we go. That's what we're leading to. Stay vigilant and stay strong. While I'm fighting for the future, I smell blood in the winds at present. Something is happening. And my instincts are telling me the pirates are reaching their end game. We must withstand whatever annihilation. Oh boy, we don't need that word. We've already got it from Sonlen. It's, I understand why they put it there, but it's like, okay, we've already seen the word. We don't need to see it again. Annihilation they will bring. Your friend, Raylan. Okay, so, Raylan's back to a good guy person, so those conclusions, Leviatek's assisting them in Jandai's realm. Like it or not, that's what's happening, so gotta acknowledge that. So that's that side of lore. Now we go to the other side, and we see a little bit of what's going on with the pirates. So again, this is setting up for this confrontation. Fia and Killian read over the assignment together, reviewing the plans one last time. I don't like it, Killian mutters. The king picks us for his big mission. But before we do that, we have to venture back into that godforsaken tundra to mess with the land of the Bluebeards again. So this is interesting. So Killian's remember, and I remember because I made an animated short based off this. Apparently, they have to go back into the Thalank regions, to raid something. How many more raids does he need from us? We don't even get to keep anything we would otherwise plunder. So, okay, these pirates are not liking the quote-unquote king, which is, of course, Thorman. Fia gestures curiously, signaling Killian to stop his tirade for the third time since they set off for northern shores. So, again, for Fia's character, she is mute. So she gives hand signals when she wants to say something. Although, apparently she's not as mute as we thought, because she says something here. Now I'm confused. Fia gestures curtly, signaling Killian to stop his tirade for the third time since they set off for northern shores. A few moments. I think that meant for the northern shores, so there's a typo there. This is the first typo I think I've seen Renegade for the northern shores. Just saying. A few moments of peaceful silence pass, agonizing Killian, which is kind of funny. Changing topics, he addresses their recent warning. Do you think the big boss really did it? Tamed a kraken? Okay, so apparently they got a letter saying from the king that he's now in control of a kraken who is part of the void. That's interesting. His voice ripples with anticipation. Fia's shoulders shake with an inaudible chuckle, a rare levity seen only by her quartermaster. So apparently she can talk then, and she only talks to Killian. Both of them sit there remembering tales from home about legendary sea monsters and mighty leviathans. Okay, sea monsters is a kraken. Are we going to get some Leviathans? It might be a hint. Like, are we going to see like a Leviathan type thing in the future? That would be kind of cool. My son's very much into Leviathans. He draws what he imagines to be a Leviathan. So my son is so into, my 7-year-old, he's so into just looking at and drawing sea creatures. I'm almost going to miss the excitement. This land may be worse than a Galveston inn in the summer, but the entertainment has at least helped distract me from the misery of this prison sentence. That's interesting. From the misery of this prison sentence. Is he talking about just the fact that they're there in Valhalla and they're trying to get out? I mean, because that's Thormund's motivation to these pirates. It's like, you help me, I'll send you back. I'll be able to get the power to send you back to your homes, to where you belong, to the times that you belong. So I think that's what that means. Thea responds, Rum, inferior, Valhalla. So I think this is her hand signals, actually. This isn't her talking. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's just her giving hand signals. So Rum is inferior in Valhalla. Okay. You got a point there, Captain. You got a point there. I can hear Joe Crazy's Killian voice say that. All right, so that's a setup for that. I really have no huge issues with this other than typo for the northern shores. So you might want to refresh that and redo that Renegade. I probably won't. I'm not gonna problem the in there. And so that's a setup, guys. So there we go. And as much as I have had rantings for about 15-20 minutes on what's going on in some of this, this is where we are at in the lore. So I want to report that and say that to you all. Still looking forward to see how things go, because we kind of know what the end result's going to be, but hopefully we get more details on the inevitable and quote-unquote annihilation event that's going to happen very, very soon in the future. So that's taking a look at that from the pen of Raylan and the vision of Killian and Fia, not Sonlen this time. That is taking a look at this from Scenario 17. All right, now we're going to get into, I'm just going to take a drink for a second. Now we're going to get into the actual scenario itself. Let us see what Renegade has cooked up this time, because so far the scenarios are always very interesting. So this will be online scenario 17, Dawn of a New Alliance. Let's look at the map first. Map, Nostraland Coast. Okay. Nostraland, of course, is Jandar's territory. And there is, let's see here. Okay, so this is 4 packs that you need. Age of Annihilation Master Set, Waters of Valhalla, Ruins at Lars Edge, and Roads of Valhalla. So yeah, it's kind of a pricey map setup, but really nice. You got some bridges, you got the towers and stuff. And let's read the lore bit. While ruins of war litter all the regions of Valhalla, which y'all should know, some stand from a time of Utgar's. Some stand from a time before Utgar's conquest began. The coastal city of Old Calport is one such ruin. Nastraland's oral history recalls it as the first site visited by the Azire-Kiri. Interesting. The ancestors of many Valhallans with skins of bluish hues, such as the healer Kelda and Queen Carrion. Yes, okay. So we're getting now some background of Kelda and Carrion's ancestry. So Valhallans who are blue-skinned. That's interesting. The accuracy of folklore's claims is disputed amongst Jandar's many scholars, but the ruins hold a special reverence for all the Nastraland's Kiri. These of Jandar's domain hold close tales of a mighty hurricane. One uniting the native Kiri of Nastraland with their Azire neighbors to withstand the storm. For that reason, Old Calaport's ruins are a symbol of solidarity with all sentient beings for the northern peoples. Okay, so this is the map. It's a very interesting map. You know, you got water and stuff. Kind of representing that shoreline. Level 1, so we got okay, 10 levels because you got something that's high up there. Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Unique, different map. And then online scenario 17, down to New Alliance. Okay, the crisp morning air of Nastralon's coast is smothered with smoke and screams. Targeted pirate raids have brought chaos to the northern shores, and Jandar's watchful sentinels are rapidly dispatched to push the scoundrels back into the sea. As guards spot the Voidwing making a direct approach toward the ancient ruins of Old Calport, their summons for might of the army are preempted by the arrival of Raylan and Leviatak. Bolstering the Calport Guard, the forces of Leviatak are determined to pour wrath upon the pirate heads. But despite their shared goals, the forces of Jandar remember far too many years of war, holding Leviatak's new reign with a dutiful amount of suspicion. I like it still how, in the lore, like, it kind of is hinted that people doubt Leviatak's position in that, to where it's like she says she's in charge. It looks like she's in charge, but people are still doubting that. So I find that's interesting that they do write that in lore. I will give Renegade credit for that. They do show that a little bit. Okay, Voidwing start zone. Okay, everybody there in the water. Alliance start zones. Okay. Goal: protect or destroy the Calport ancestral ruins. Okay, so this looks like okay, there are special rules. Okay, let's look at that. Choose who will be the Voidwing player and who will be the Alliance player. Okay, how many people can play this? Looks like it's just a 2-player match, I think. Choose who will be the Voidwing player and who will be the Alliance player. Both players build draft armies of 600 points each, so it's like a 600-point army face-off. Okay. The Alliance player's army must include Raylan the Kiri warrior, but does not have to pay her points cost. Cool. Each army has its own special victory condition. The Voidwing crew: destroy all enemy figures or destroy 10 pillars by the end of round 6. Okay. So these pillars, okay, so they must be considered destructible objects in this then. And the new Alliance: destroy all enemy figures or reach the end of round 6 before the Voidwing crew destroys 10 pillars. Okay, so basically destroy or last. And really, going 6 rounds in Heroscape, that's 600-point armies. I guess it's possible, but you know, be interesting. Ancestral ruins: treat all Lar ruined pillar pieces as if they were destructible objects with the following stats and abilities. I like how Renegade, you know, gives these type of stats and abilities for certain things. They did it before with the last one with the gallery civilians. That was kind of cool. Ancestral ruin. Life 1, defensive 6. All parts of the pillar pieces count as hit zones. When a pillar is destroyed, remove it and any connected wall pieces from the board. If the pillar has another pillar stacked on top of it, destroy and remove that pillar as well. Voidwing player: Sierra diving gear. Now we need a glyph for that. Pirate, captain, and admiral figures controlled by the Voidwing player do not stop their movement when entering a water space. And black powder bombs. At the start of each round, the Voidwing player may place a glyph of Brandar. So there you go. So black powder bombs. Let's make a glyph for it. On a space occupied by any figure they control. In addition, at the start of their turn, a pirate figure with a black powder marker may remove 1 powder marker from its card to place the glyph of Brandar on a space occupied by a figure from that card if the glyph is not already on the battlefield. At the end of the round, if the glyph of Brandar is still on the map, the bomb detonates. Roll 3 attack dice. Each figure within 1 space of the glyph suffers a wound for each skull rolled in this way. Destroy any destructible objects within 1 space as well. Remove the glyph of Brandar after resolving damage to any figures and destructible objects afflicted. That's kind of cool. You just got a bomb that Okay, an alliance player. So Voidwing player gets some special stuff, as well as the alliance player. Let's see. United Avengers. Rainland Levitak's leadership directs their forces to play into one another's strengths despite their animosity. When a figure the alliance player controls attacks an enemy figure, if that enemy figure is adjacent to at least one other figure the alliance player controls, which follows a different general than the attacker increases its attack value by 1. Okay. Okay, so it's good to mix up then your Ukar and Jandar plays, or any of them. So you could have a mixed army, which is easy to do because then you have more synergies, because usually some armies synergize with others. You could have a totally rainbow type army and really buff up your players, so that's cool. A Herald of the New Alliance. The alliance player may treat Raylan the Kiri warrior in their army, may put any Raylan the Kiri in their army as following both Jandar and Ukar. Raylan counts as following both generals for the United Avengers special rule. Raylan ignores the different general restriction for the United Avengers rule when attacking. Okay, cool. So she could be either or, I think. So she still gets that attack buff. Disarming. Instead of attacking on its turn, a figure occupying the Glyph of Brandar may attempt to disarm a placed bomb. Roll a 20-sided die. If the result is 1 to 6, nothing happens. If it is 7 or higher, the bomb is disarmed and you remove the glyph from the battlefield. So there you go. So you're able to try and disarm the bomb as well. Okay, and that's it. So it's a bit more simple. You still have some special abilities for the armies. Overall, it seems like a pretty fun scenario. You get to destroy, for pirate, you get to destroy pillars, or try and wipe out the enemies. Same thing with the alliance people. You prevent the pillars from being destroyed, or you try and wipe out the enemies. So yeah, another fun thing, and nothing. I mean, you get a little bit more of this history, old Calport, and a little bit of history of the different different kinds of Kiri, different races of Kiri, which is kind of cool. So that's taking a look, I guess. Then, I mean, as I said, another one I'll stack in the old file to use for later when my son is old enough. So let's take a look at Online Scenario 17, Dawn of a New Alliance, for your Heroscape Plane Entertainment. All right. And with that, folks, we are practically wrapped for tonight. So we will wind down and sign off in a moment. Yeah. We're almost an hour into the stream, or practically an hour into the stream now, of starting it up. So it's good, kept good time. And again, as I leave you all for tonight, it's gonna be practically, before I stream again, it's gonna be over probably 4 weeks until I stream again. More than likely, I'll probably be streaming February 11th is when I'll start. Maybe earlier, I don't know. Depends on how things go, because things usually happen when I'm gone on these types of things, so we'll see. But I'll definitely be out of any type of streaming for the time being, for less than a month into February. So just to say it again, but again, we still have a contest ongoing though. Season 3. And there's a link in the description below for this. Go to the Season 3 re-edit full video, leave a comment to get yourself entered into the contest for like a Firestorm, for a Kelda, which we're just talking about Kelda tonight. See? Look, see? There she is. Blue skin Kelda. Now we know why she has blue skin, because she is part of another Kelda, or another Kiri race. very interesting. And so that counted as a prize. We have a signed card by Craig Van Ness, which is a prize. Please comment below, or not comment here. Go to the season 3 thing and comment there. To get yourself entered for that, because we only have a few commenters, so please comment there and enjoy the series. What else can I say? I think that's it. I'm glad I was able to get this scenario done, so I'm not behind in it. For next month, I'll try to get these segmented and have them out before I leave for the weekend. And so that way they're out there, for people. So if people don't want to go through this whole stream, they don't have to. So with that, yeah, I guess I'm gonna bid you all farewell for the time being. I know I believe in February we're gonna have Renegade Con. It hasn't been announced when the date is yet. Hopefully it's not when I'm not here, but hopefully it's gonna be latter February. I hope. Because I know if it's going to be like the first week of February, I'm just not going to be able to do it. It's going to be more. It's going to be if it is, it'll be another. I just won't see anything, and we'll do another stream to where, I'm like looking at it for the first time. Like an actual first look, because I'll do nothing. What else I want to say? Well, okay, I know, and when I go for these things, you never know. Like in situations happening, if this might be the last stream that I do for a while, for a number of weeks, I just want to leave you all with a little bit of inspiration and hope near the end of this, while I'm gone. And shout out to Warpig, who's going to be streaming on his Twitch channel. So definitely. Give him a like, and I think he'll be streaming at times that I used to streaming with his painting. Really good painter, content creator. He is, so definitely check him out. While I am gone, but I just want to leave behind something now. For those of you who, and I encourage anybody, if you're out there, and I'm trying to approach this year with the fact that, like we all got dreams. I have personally a lot of dreams I'm trying to pursue. I'm trying to establish an animation studio, a business this year. I'm really trying to concentrate hard on that. Getting more animated stuff out there, new animated stuff. I'm re-releasing some of the old stuff, just because I can take advantage of that in YouTube Shorts. But there are goals I'm setting for this year to get into that. There's also other like personal goals, to be a good dad for my son, a good husband to my wife. Just a lot of good dreams out there. But some dreams, I know you're thinking like, some dreams I think about, Ryan, and I just laugh because I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can pursue that. Or, there's something in the back of your head for years you thought you never can pursue. Why not? Why not go for it? Why not take steps for it? And with that being said, I'm just going to leave to you all a poem to just maybe give you a little inspiration. And this is lyrics to a song sung by Jim Neighbors, or Gomer Pyle, USMC, in one of his episodes called Dream the Impossible Dream. And this is also sung, I think this has been sung by a few singers. I think it was sung in Man of La Mancha, which is a movie based off the Don Quixote novel. And so it's a classic song. But I love the lyrics because for someone going through really tough times, and I know there's probably like some of y'all out there, and how I say, I tend to, like, when I sign off, I say you have a purpose in your life, find it, pursue it, live it. This tends to run along the same vein of inspiration. It's just a little bit longer. So that's why I don't usually sign off. I wouldn't sign off with this like every night. But since I'm gonna be away for a little while, I thought just leave this for you all. And seriously, look up, because I know there's video on YouTube of Jim Neighbors, Gomer Pyle singing this song, Dream the Impossible Dream. Try and look it up and listen to it if you can. But I'm just going to relay the lyrics to you before I sign off tonight. And I may or may not sing it. I'm no Jim Neighbors. Hello, Taco Trash 3R. Yeah, about to sign off. I actually just spent time, so definitely hit the rewind button if you want to read about the scenario and the lore. I did a whole talk on it in this past hour, but glad you could join us for this last little bit. I'm just trying to give a little bit of an inspirational a thing before I sign off, because I'm going to be gone for about a month, so going to be no streams for that amount of time. This is my last stream for 4 weeks or so. Yeah, and I explained that a little bit already, but yeah. So here we go. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know, if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world would be better for this, that one man or woman, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. To reach the unreachable star, to run where the brave dare not go, though the road be forever too high, to try, though you're wayward and weary, to reach the unreachable star. To reach the unreachable star, for you know it's impossibly high, to live with your heart striving upward, to reach the unreachable star. And the point of that is, it's not about achieving the thing. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey you take. It's about the person you become while reaching for that impossible thing. That's something I hope you all in your life, and it could be something like, don't be like me, I'm crazy, I'm insane. It could be just like, I really need to make an effort towards, reading a book every month. And just learn and develop my own brain. That could be your impossible dream. It could be that. It could be something crazier than I am. I don't know. It could be like, I really need to give a family member or my child a hug every day. It could be, I want to walk across the entire continent. That's something you might tell people something you can't do that. Why not? All it takes is one step at a time. So, whatever you're out there struggling with, it's just like, Ryan, I'm just trying to pay my bills. I get it. But whatever you're struggling with out there, hope is something that the enemy will never be able to measure. So keep on hoping, keep on stretching towards that goal. And we'll see all of you next month, okay? You all take care now. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it. and we'll see all of you next time. Later now. Bye-bye.